For millions of years, we held that baby in front of our faces, cajoling it, reprimanding it, educating it with words. Words are intimacy to us.
So what's your best advice for a woman who feels like she's broken?
So by the time a girl is 17 years old, she's gone through a significant brain change. The processing of negative emotion has moved up to her cerebral cortex, where there's reflection and reasoning. So she can now think her feelings, and she can feel her thoughts, and she can hook up words to her feelings. So when she goes to share this kind of thing with her guy, he has not had that kind of a brain change. So he may want to, out of love, get her off that topic. Fix her, do whatever he needs to do. I wrote the book, The Naked Truth About Men and Romance, to help the genders be able to explain, not just articulate, but explain what they need in a relationship. And the more she knows about her brain, the better she'll be able to get what she needs.
Oh, I always feel that the only person that can really fix you is yourself. I mean, the only person you can really change on this planet is you. And when you have made some changes in who you are, everybody around you seems to change too and respond to that. So one of the things that I really like are affirmations. And, and apparently you're supposed to start with, I love being myself with. Now, that's the way I was taught to do it. And so, you say, I love being myself and able to get into my white skirt next Friday or something like that. Or whatever it is that, and the brain will believe you. And in fact, even with me, when I get really overwhelmed with something, what I'll say is, you can do this. You can do this. You can do this. And strangely enough, it really helps.
I think one of the things that I see in my coaching practice time and time again, almost in a universal sense, is people come in and they do feel stuck, they do feel broken, and there's always this I'm not good enough thing floating around. I think it's so helpful to dissect that, because we try to bury it and push it away, or we give it all sorts of space in our head and feed it and nurture it. So for me, I think just dissecting it, spending time going, how does it make you feel when you think that? Is it really helping you? Who would you be without it? And what I see time and time again in the most powerful way is, what do you get from it? What do you get from feeling broken and feeling not good enough? And everyone says, no, I get nothing, just pain and misery. But the truth is, it really affords you a lot of excuses. It affords you the ability to stand back and go, no, I'll let someone else do this, or I'll let my husband discipline, or I won't ask for that raise or a bonus that everyone else, especially the male counterparts at work, are expecting. So I think one incredibly powerful thing to do is really think about, what am I hiding behind the brokenness? Yeah. Because you're getting fed somehow.
And what do you get out of it?
Right, nothing. Pain, heartache. Why don't we just throw it up? I always say it's like a wet blanket. Yeah. Get rid of the wet blanket. You don't have to carry it around.
You're putting it on yourself.
Right,
which is even
right.
worse.
And it's cold. Yeah.
Let everybody else dump on you.
Exactly. So it tends to be a choice, but we gotta kind of look at it first instead of trying to brush it away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the thing that comes to mind when I think about brokenness is this idea of wholeness as perfection. Yeah. So perfection not being some higher thing that we cannot achieve, but it being wholeness, it being accepting all of the parts of you, even the broken parts, and that creating the wholeness, which is perfection. Mm-hmm. And so how do we do this in our lives? If we feel broken, how do we feel whole? Again, we go towards the parts of us that feel broken. We go towards them instead of pushing them away, because we want to love them. We want to have this incredible self-acceptance, self-love, unrelenting, radical self-acceptance.
It's called a negativity bias. Right. And the brain is very well built to think of what's wrong instead of what's right. Mm-hmm. And we have whole sections of the brain thinking, associated with that. So you have to practice, but the brain is flexible and you can change.
Yeah. The uniqueness of you is what makes you whole and perfect.
I would even say do some physical things like just smiling.
Yes.
You know, when you smile, the muscles will move the nerves will trigger some of the feel-good chemicals, etc. Walk the way we were built to walk millions of years ago, in which you're just casually falling forward. Hold your body in certain ways, and the brain will respond.
As a psychologist, I can't help but go back to brokenness and how it can be a symptom of depression. And depression is an insidious physical illness that can cause you to have a lack of physical and emotional energy, can cause you to socially withdraw, can cause you to have a low sex drive. And of course, all that can really impact your relationship and make that feel broken too. In fact, a lot of times when people come in for couples therapy, they don't really have relationship issues. One of them is depressed. And a little known fact about depression is that it can change your sense of bonding to your significant other. So you really feel like that is broken. And so going to a therapist and getting help for that broken part is a very possible thing to do.
So if you're out there and you're feeling broken on the inside, listen to what the ladies have to say. Look inside, figure out where it comes from, do some things to trick your brain into realizing and remembering who you really are, and you'll get through it.